The restaurant was one of those dimly lit, expensive places she always dreamed of dining at. Soft piano music, waiters in crisp suits, glasses of red wine glowing in candlelight. Amelia sat across from me, her face painted with satisfaction. To anyone watching, we looked like the perfect couple out celebrating another chapter of our marriage. But beneath the polished veneer of the evening, a storm brewed in my chest. I had planned this night for weeks. Not because I wanted to make her happy, but because I wanted to end things on my terms. For months, maybe even years, Amelia had chipped away at my love with little lies, with sidelong glances at her phone, with girls' nights that ended too late and too secretive. I had caught enough glimpses: an unfamiliar man's name lighting up her screen, lipstick reapplied at odd hours, laughter that wasn't meant for me. And last week, I followed her. One simple act that stripped the last of my illusions: she wasn't out with her friends. She was with him. So tonight wasn't about us. Tonight was about her reckoning. She looked radiant in her emerald green dress, the one I once told her made her look like royalty. She smiled, sipped her wine, and leaned forward with that charm she had mastered so well. "Finally," she said, "a proper date night. You've been so distant lately. I was beginning to think you'd forgotten how to treat me." Her words stung, not because they were true, but because she believed her lies still worked on me. She thought I hadn't noticed the shift, the betrayal, the way she carried another man's shadow into our home. I smiled back, calm, careful, collected. "You're right. Tonight is special. That's why I've brought something important." Her eyes lit up, and for a moment, I saw her mind race. Was it a gift, jewelry, another symbol of my devotion to her? She had no idea. Slowly, I reached into my bag and pulled out a plain brown envelope. I placed it on the table, sliding it toward her across the white linen cloth. She raised a perfectly sculpted brow. "What's this?" "Open it," I said, my voice even. She set down her glass and, with a small smirk, tugged the papers free. I watched the flicker in her eyes, the initial curiosity, the confusion, and then the dawning horror as she realized what she was holding. Divorce papers. My name signed, dated, final. The silence that followed was deafening. The piano played on, couples around us laughed, forks clinked against plates, but between us, there was nothing. No sound, no movement. Just the quiet unraveling of her facade. Her lips parted, but no words came. She looked up at me, searching for some sign that this was a joke, that maybe I was bluffing. But my face held steady, my eyes locked onto hers with all the certainty she had lost. You can't be serious," she finally whispered. "I've never been more serious," I replied, my tone cutting through the fog between us. "I know everything, Amelia. Every late night. Every lie. Every time you thought I was too blind or too trusting to see the truth." She swallowed hard, her confidence faltering. "It's not what you think. I was just—" "Don't," I interrupted sharply. "Don't insult me with another story. I saw you with him. I followed you last week." Her hands trembled as she clutched the papers, and for the first time in years, she looked small. Fragile. Stripped of the power she always carried in her beauty, her charm, her ability to manipulate a room. "I can explain," she tried again, but her voice cracked. "Explain what?" I leaned closer, my voice low enough only for her. "Explain how the vows we made were nothing but empty words to you? Explain how you looked me in the eye while sharing your bed with someone else?" "No, Amelia. There's nothing left to explain. I'm done." Tears welled in her eyes, but I felt no sympathy. "Not anymore." I had spent too many nights staring at the ceiling, wondering where I went wrong, questioning if I wasn't enough. Tonight wasn't about blame. It was about freedom. She tried to compose herself, dabbing at her eyes with the napkin, forcing a brittle smile as if she could charm her way back. "We can fix this," she said softly. "We've built a life together. Please, don't throw it away like this." I let out a hollow laugh. "You already threw it away, Amelia. I'm just handing you the pieces you left behind." The silence between us deepened. She glanced around, suddenly aware of the stares from nearby tables. Her perfect image was cracking in public, and she hated it. But I didn't care. Not anymore. I stood, sliding my chair back slowly. "Enjoy your dinner," I said coldly. "It's the last one we'll ever share." Her hand shot out, gripping my wrist. "Wait. Please, don't leave me like this." I looked down at her, at the desperation in her eyes, and for a fleeting second, I remembered the woman I once loved. The woman who laughed at my terrible jokes, who danced with me barefoot in the kitchen, who whispered promises under the stars. But that woman was long gone, replaced by someone who traded loyalty for cheap thrills. I gently pulled my hand free. "Goodbye, Amelia." With that, I walked out, leaving her sitting there with the divorce papers spread across the table, her untouched wine, and the silence she had earned. For the first time in months, I felt the weight lift from my shoulders. The night air was crisp, cool against my skin, and as I stepped onto the empty street, I realized something: endings didn't always come with shouting, with slammed doors, with broken glass. Sometimes, they came with silence. And sometimes, silence was the loudest freedom of all.